Well, no, okay, well, hold on.
Yeah.
So let's get something straight first. So we're gonna go with the idea that both season 5 and season 6 are on this gravitational plane, basically following basic physics rules of the real universe.
Called
And
general relativity.
all right, general relativity. How far away, like basically to make it so that season 5, right? Because you're saying that season 5 has a.
Well, this right here is gonna make it so it can be as far away as you want.
Okay, cool. So how does this work?
So quantum entanglement is basically when two particles of any distance act as one, right? So let's say I have a particle in China and a particle in America. So in quantum mechanics, particles are pretty much everywhere and nowhere until they are observed, and then they pick a spot. So
Okay.
if I observe my particle in America, my particle in China is going to automatically stop moving and being allowed to be observed, if that makes sense. And it's called particle entanglement. So particle entanglement can't currently be explained because of a hole between quantum field theory and relativity, right?
All right.
So that's where this thing called quantum gravity theory comes in. If we could just make our own quantum gravity theory, a theoretical quantum gravity theory, it would still work within the laws of science because it's not actually confirmed yet. So it can be whatever we want it to be. And we
Okay.
can make it so entanglement allows that to happen. So somebody would have to do something, and especially because we're walking in parallel with this other world, that would go along with the multiverse theory. So that would work pretty well with entanglement.
Wait, so
They would
hold
just
on.
have to do something to trigger us over.
Are we going with the idea that Blanky, SMP season 5 and season 6 are different parallel universes, or they're in the same universe but in different worlds? How does that work?
Same universe, different world would probably be better, actually.
Okay.
They'd have to be parallel universes, though, no?
No, wait.
Not for
Because
not
how
entanglement.
else is the body of people?
Yeah,
the
see, I don't
exact
know. That would have to be other, but entanglement would have to be the same. But quantum gravity theory, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, quantum gravity theory isn't out yet, so we can literally just make something up.
Anyway, but going back to how this works though. So you're saying that they have to be in this. Ideally, we do this in the same universe, different planets. Season 5 would have to be a much bigger planet though because of the greater gravity well. And then you're saying that by manipulating basically quantum entanglement, we can then change, or we could configure how far or how close we want the other planet to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we go about doing that?
Wait, hold on. What'd you say? We configure how close we want the other planet to be. Well, so a wormhole. Okay, let me explain what a wormhole is. So space is either Euclidean or positive. Okay, so Euclidean just means flat, and then this means actually this is in the PowerPoint. Where's that PowerPoint at? Also, dude, my name on my computer is Johnny123, and I don't know how to change it. Okay, so flat curvature is Euclidean, positive is positive. So in a Euclidean geometry, right? So the reason they say Euclidean instead of flat, so this picture's wrong, is because of this right here, where you can see how it kind of bends around a large mass. Space-time bends around the mass.
Okay.
Right? A
What?
wormhole is pretty much, you have space here, and then you have space here.
Right.
Kind of like that, right? In a positive curvature, it's kind of just like, so here's space, right? So if I wanted to get over here and I'm over here, I have to ride like this. But now, all of a sudden, and I can just go straight. It's pretty much a shortcut. It's pretty much what a wormhole is. But entanglement, to our understanding, works as far as humanly possible.
All right. Okay. So how does this apply to season 5 to season 6?
So, okay, if somebody opens up, I guess, a theoretical wormhole from season 5 right here to season 6 right here, these particles could still, so wormholes are completely theoretical. So what would actually work is if we say that wormholes open up based off of entanglement. So the only thing that we'd have to figure out to understand is how these particles got entangled. But let's say there's particles entangled from 5 to 6, and that's gonna, and then once somebody does something in season 6 to affect that particle, it opens up a wormhole, which just happens to be directly under us. And we
Oh,
fall through
okay.
it.
And this is the whole particle thing that you were talking about between, like, say, China and America.
Yes, yeah. That's entanglement. Yeah.
Okay.
So once they affect their particle in season 6 or season 5, so they're in the same universe, and they're just very far from each other. But then
Okay.
once once they open up that wormhole that connects the two different sized worlds, then we can just fly on through.
Okay, so what you're saying is that potentially, at some point through in season 6, we can figure out that the wormhole is closed. How does that work?
The wormhole's not there. Like the
Well,
particles become unentangled, pretty much is what it would be.
is that possible?
Once we went through, yeah. So let's say that, we can just say that we go through. Yeah, I mean particles can become unentangled, I believe.
I love how we're trying to make sure that this is all scientifically accurate, and meanwhile we have like refined storage.
Yeah,
that's scientifically
disentangled,
accurate.
effectively losing their interconnected quantum state through interactions with the environment, such as measurement or by introducing new interactions that dominate the particle's quantum state. So once we fly to the other universe, that would 100% dominate the particle's quantum state. So it would have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
I have an interjection.
Yeah.
If someone had the ability to open the wormhole, I have a small inkling they would also have the ability to close it.
Have the Watcher guy from season 3, who's like the Type 4 civilization guy, open it and then close it. Okay, but then wait, whoa, but then
I also have another interjection
what?
to explain the exact same bodies, basically clones on other planets. We could apply doppelganger theory to that.
Okay, but okay, well, hold on. Let's solve one issue at a time. The first issue being, let's figure out the motive for the Watcher. Why would the Watcher want?
Wait, hold on. Wait. I say before we do this, let's do a quick recap, right? So there's like, what? How many things? 3 things that we've got. So, time,
Right.
getting there, and then something else, right? So time. So we've got this solved, right? This is out of the way because we know that the planets are different sizes. Getting there, right? So there's 2 particles entangled between 5 and 6. Somebody does something to the 1 and 6 to like observe it, whatever. Opens up a wormhole. We fly through. They become disentangled by throwing off their quantum state,
Okay.
and then we're there. So now, what's the third thing we're trying to solve mathematically?
Well, the third and fourth, but I guess you could combine it too. Scientific wise, we're trying to figure out like why can't we go back, right? Which is the de-entanglement. But you're kind of solving that right now.
Why can't we go back? The wormhole closes, and we don't know how to reopen it. So we have to find. So we can get back eventually. We just have to. Somebody just started a very loud car. We just have to find other particles that are entangled, and then do a bunch of experiments to
Okay.
figure out if we can jump it.
And real quick about the time dilation, if we were to ever go back to season 5, right?
It would be like 15 minutes
Okay.
on their season 5 time.
Okay. And what was the time dilation we determined? Like the final.
I think it was a day and a month.
Yeah, 1 day equals 1 month.
Yeah.
1 day in season 5 is 1 month in season 6. Okay. Okay.
So this is what's really confusing me is this thing of like, this is not scientifically possible where there's multiple of us in the same universe.
That's why we.
So
have to do
I guess
parallel
what you could
universe
say is say outside of observable space that's where the multiverses sit, and it's actually all in the same universe. So theoretically, with interstellar travel, I could meet. That could be something that we can say.
Okay, yeah.
So if you were to go through a wormhole, then you, as a whole person, would get transferred over. You wouldn't be taking over another person. You just
Yeah,
get
that's what I've
transferred
been
over.
trying to say.
Okay.
Is like the whole thing about that isn't like scientifically feasible.
So how do we deal with that then?
To explain that, you could have it to where during the travel between the wormhole, between season 5 and 6, the Watcher character like pulls your consciousness out of your body and sends it over instead of your body, so your body just kind of stays in stasis in space between in a
Stays
wormhole
in the wormhole.
between season 5 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so your body stays in there. The Watcher character dissects your body, basically, taking out your consciousness because he's a descendant of God or whatever, and he can do whatever the frick he wants. And
Wait,
sends
hold on.
your
I think I
consciousness
skipped
over.
a step. Who's God? What's
No,
going on?
no, you didn't.
The
Yeah.
Watcher. The Watcher is
Plank.
A
a
Watcher?
character from season 3.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Tape
for
recorder
bearing
always
with me.
beats spreading notes.
Wait. All right,
I learned that in
Wait,
court.
what?
Give me your rundown on this gravity thing so I can make sure it's right.
My rundown, like my opinion, or what?
Like, just tell me what it is.
Okay. Well, to deal with the time dilation, the planets are way different sizes, right? And we're just gonna say that the Watcher, we don't find this out until much later, but the Watcher opened up the wormhole by manipulating two particles on opposite sides of the universe that are so far apart that they are not within each other's observable spaces. And that is why the wormhole opens, and we go through, and within the wormhole, the Watcher dematerializes our entire physical body, but our consciousness gets transferred over to the Season 6 mind. And we don't observe the difference in gravity, by the way, because our mind gets transferred and sort of mushed with the mind in Season 6, which is why... Well, I mean, the physical body stays the same in Season 6, right? So we don't feel any different. And then, wait, what was the thing 2?
Get in there. That was the wormhole.
That was the wormhole.
Oh, yeah, that was just the Watcher with the particles. Yeah. We could call it that.
Okay.
Is that good? Is
So
that-
we're locked? Are we dialed?
Yeah, is that the official scientific accurate lore?
I suppose. I wasn't listening to it.
Yeah.
Bro.
Got distracted.
Oh.
Like halfway through, you were talking. I was like, "What the frick is playing?" Oh, oh.
Okay, right.